And remember, when you set goals, you actually have something that you can track and measure. When you don't have goals, then you might be aimlessly shooting in the dark. Welcome back to the Successful Stylist Academy podcast, everyone. I'm your host, Ambrosia Carey, and due to popular demand, we get to have another intimate conversation talking specifically about business. Today, we are going to talk about business overwhelm, however, because that struggle is real for a lot of us who are trying to run our own independent small business, or even if you have a team underneath you. One of my biggest calls to actions right now is to really simplify what it is that you're doing one step at a time. And that would be to focus on the relationships you have now. Rather than trying to build out more, what I have found is when you actually start to develop those stronger relationships, it starts to fill in the gaps of the things that might be missing that you didn't really realize that were missing. And as you build those stronger relationships, it simply starts to gravitate other people who are going through that similar process your way. That is what it's all about with becoming absolutely recession proof, which is another huge topic right now, but also what can take away the overwhelm when it comes to the growth of your business. Action step number 2, I want to invite you to go back to your website. I know you guys have heard me talk about this before, but one small thing that you can do that would literally take you 10 to 15 minutes is to go through your website and make sure that everything is up to date and there are no errors. So maybe if you click on some links, if it's a broken link, go through and find out why, re-upload that link to make sure it is working. If there's something on there that you need to sweep up that maybe was like last year, then change the dates around, change some verbiage, and make sure, again, that is up to date. That's something that won't take you too long to do, but it certainly makes your client journey experience a little bit stronger, and it makes you look like you're on top of your business a little bit more. Taking out the overwhelm, step number 3 would be to focus on one social media platform and one SEO format at a time. If you feel overwhelmed by all the things out there, I do not blame you because I myself do too. There is a time and a place to be on every single platform. And if you haven't mastered one platform yet, work on that. And while we're on that topic, let's talk about the simple step of measuring yourself only monthly rather than weekly when you are new to something. So if you've been posting on Instagram on a constant basis and you get your rhythm, your cadence down, and you feel really good about what you're putting out there, how often you're putting it out there, and who you're speaking with, then you'll feel ready to actually look at your metrics. If you're all over the place and you're posting here and there and you're barely on the app, don't look at your metrics until it's a whole month has gone by, because you're not going to get a realistic snapshot of what you should be focusing on anyway. So what I'm saying is put it out there first, then test it, then you will have something to go off of. So I'm just trying to get you to rethink the way that you're putting stuff out there, and knowing that it is a constant work in progress. But the more frequency that you do something, the easier it will be for you to grab appropriate metrics to know what you need to focus on next. My next call to action when it comes to business overwhelm is to set a timer. If you literally set a 15-minute timer, you will actually be surprised by how much you can get done in that smaller time frame than if you don't have a timer at all. Time seems to escape us very easily, and sometimes we put such little value on time. And this is where I want to flip the script a little bit. I want you to look at your time as if it's equal to money. If you only had the 15 minutes, what kind of impact can you make in that 15 minutes? Sometimes I turn it into a little bit of a game, like how quickly can I respond? How fast can I engage with people? How many relationships can I create or make in that 15-minute window? And remember, when you set goals, you actually have something that you can track and measure. When you don't have goals, then you might be aimlessly shooting in the dark. Okay, this is my favorite one of all time. Organization. I know it's like a bad word for artists. Like, oh, I cannot do that. It just makes me shudder thinking about it. But when you brain dump all the things that go onto your head, imagine like everything that enters your head if you just wrote it out or you spoke it into your phone instead of letting it just live there. You might be surprised by all the creative ideas that come into your head. And by the way, when you get lots of creative ideas and you don't put it out, that's when you get overwhelmed. Overwhelm just happens when you have too many things going on in your brain and you don't have an organized system to put in place. So when it comes to organization, I want to urge you to brain dump, and you can do that actually inside of Canva Pro. I've been using that, and I'm not trying to sell it to you, but hear me out for a second. The reason why I use Canva Pro is because they have Magic. Magic is an AI writing tool that's inside of it. So that way, if you actually type in an initial thought, it will create like a whole paragraph to sometimes several steps involved in that one thought process. That could give you the idea for 10 posts. So try that. And if you don't already have a Canva Pro, I will attach that into the show notes. Next, I want to talk about batching and scheduling out your content. When it comes to content batching, sometimes that can be overwhelming, but the reason why I made this step after you actually organizing is because once you've organized things into your little buckets, it makes it easier for you to start recording some of those things. Put those recordings into different folders. Then you can schedule out that post for later on, so it can post for you at a later date, or you can have it sitting in your drafts. Either way, once you've completed that task, you're in that regular rhythm of creating it. I think it's the biggest disservice we can do to ourselves is by creating something, scheduling it, and then interacting all in one go, because that's not a sustainable thing to do every single day, right? And that's the reason why we end up getting burnt out or overwhelmed, which is the topic of discussion today. So just batch out some timeframes to do one and then the other. Don't do it all at the same time. And my last call to action, you guys, is if you feel overwhelmed by this, just know that it's completely normal. Like I literally had a phone call with one of my friends today, and he was telling me that sometimes having to create content is something that he just feels overwhelmed by in general. If anything that I've been saying so far has been resonating with you, then I want to urge you to join our 6-month container. This is for creatives that either have a business that has been started or you're in the creation process of building that business. This is only intimate to 15 people total. We do have 6 tickets left at the time that this is recorded. So if this is something that you want to join, please come join us, because we get so much done in this time frame. And we've got 3 amazing coaches that are going to be with you to help you work out some of the kinks and also give you feedback on some things that maybe you're not really sure about. It helps with clarity. It helps with you with your branding message. We even help you with organizing some of the things that might feel a little icky for you. While we're on the topic of it, I'm going to give you guys a little secret. We are hosting our next pop-up social event in Grand Junction, Colorado, May 21st. I want all you creatives to be with me in this space. It's going to be freaking amazing, and I'm so looking forward to it. Growing Green is all about sustainability and ways to grow that business and make that side money. So you guys, if you want to attend an event where you learn some action steps associated with the marketing side, especially if you're coming to our group coaching, this ticket is included in your group coaching. So this is a twofer. This is something that I think you should definitely get on top of if you've ever considered being a part of a community and actually driving numbers to your business and getting some action-oriented goals involved with it. Please, please come. So again, putting all the information in the show notes, you'll be spending lots of time there. You have lots of choices. And again, guys, I want to encourage you to dream big, set goals, take action, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you again next week. Take care.